I'm Fiona Herrill and I'm a partner at Moodys based in the Aberdeen office, and I lead the employment team here. We act for a number of large employers in Aberdeen and the northeast of Scotland, covering a whole host of sectors. We help clients with their employment law needs and their HR support needs, and that can be anything from helping with contracts of employment through to disputes in relation to termination of employment and everything that goes in between, including representing our clients in the employment tribunal when they face claims from their workforce. IR35 is a piece of tax legislation which came into force back in 2000, and it came into force because HMRC were concerned about disguised employment. What that really means is they were concerned that individuals were engaging through personal service companies that they had set up and enjoying certain tax benefits that they wouldn't have been able to enjoy had they been engaged by the end user client as an employee rather than as a contractor. And what IR35 requires is for the personal service company to determine whether that individual falls within or outside of IR35. If they fall within IR35, then the personal service company has an obligation to make sure that the proper tax and national insurance contributions are being deducted. There are changes being made to the IR35 regime in relation to the private sector, and we've already seen those changes be made in relation to the public sector. And what will happen is that rather than the obligation to undertake the assessment sitting with a personal service company, that obligation is now going to sit with the end user client. And therefore there's a huge amount of work has to be done by the end user client to ascertain whether or not the individual falls within or outside of IR35, rather than that sitting with the personal service company. In terms of getting ready for these changes to IR35, there's lots that companies in the oil and gas sector can be doing now. I think step one has to be to put in place a cross-discipline working party. This shouldn't be looked at as being an HR issue or a tax issue or a legal issue. Actually, it's a people issue and it involves all of those disciplines. So you want to make sure that you have a group of people from across your business, from the relevant parts of your business, who are all working together to identify what your solution is going to be in advance of the changes coming into force in April 2020. Step two would be to then identify your contractor population. We know that oil and gas companies tend to have a large contractor population, and perhaps some of those contractors have been in the organisation for a long time, and they might not be obvious that they are contractors. So making sure that you understand who the contractors are within the organisation. Step three, you want to assess the status of your contractors within your organisation. You want to understand whether they fall within or outside of IR35, and that's an assessment that will have to be undertaken on a case-by-case basis. Once you've done all of that, you're then thinking about your solution to this problem and what solution are you going to implement within your organisation. And there won't be a one-size-fits-all approach. That really will depend on different organisations. Once the solution has been identified, it will then be into the implementation phase, so talking to the impacted people about what the solution looks like and the impact it's going to have on them, and agreeing the necessary contractual changes. And once everything has been implemented in advance of April 2020, then you want to make sure that you've got procedures in place to ensure compliance going forward. So regular audits, for example, and also making sure that individuals who are engaging contractors within the organisation have had the necessary training to make sure that they don't then expose your business to risk. Moodys have a team of tax and employment law specialists who are working with a number of clients in the oil and gas sector at the moment in order to get ready. We work seamlessly with those project teams to ensure that the client is going to be ready for these changes when they come into force in April 2020.